Hey everyone, and welcome back to the channel. Today we're taking a look at this Simplicity Stallion zero-turn mower. Customer brought in the engine right about a month ago and had a bunch of issues, head gaskets, did some carb work and everything else. Well, he picked it up and put it back on the zero-turn, and he says now that it will not run correctly. This is a Kohler Command 25. We're going to go through the full diagnostics and repair here for you to get this thing taken care of at what is a very unusual issue that we do not see often. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button as we go along if you enjoy the content. First, let's fire it up and show you how it runs. Barely is how it runs. Sounds like there's zero power to any of it, and it's very different from the way that it ran when it was in here. One very important thing to mention is when it came in, he did not have his muffler attached to it. We'll check both cylinders next. Yes, it was very loud when we ran it, test ran it. We didn't run it for an extreme long period, but it sounded just great. So I'm going to unplug one side cylinder. Just plug in a spark plug and let it hang to the side. But I'm going to test this side first, see if it runs, and then I'll test the opposite side, just to make sure both cylinders are actually firing and still working. Sounds good on the left side. Try the right side. Still sounds labored. Still doesn't sound like it has full power, of course. Trying to just hang that to some metal where it's touching. Runs on both cylinders, meaning that our ignition coils are working on both sides. All of our valve trains working on both sides. We completely rebuilt this carburetor when this was done. So what is the issue? One of the very first things I said is, wow, that thing ran great when it was in here, and for some reason now it doesn't. The only thing that was changed, we had it kind of just hooked up for temporary testing, but the only thing that's changed is the muffler was added. Well, look at this big dent in the muffler here, right towards the output. Surely that's not the cause, right? Just a big dent in the muffler? Well, let's find out. One of the nuts was completely loose, and I noticed a pop can gasket for the right hand side. The other one is the original, but it's in pretty bad shape, missing about half of it, it looks to be. Now if we look at the exhaust here, just turning it, here's something flopping around in there, and look at that dent. It's a lot easier to see now. To me, this screams issue with the plugged up exhaust, since it ran so good before this exhaust was installed. And I don't see anything else going on. It looks like he actually hooked everything else upright besides the gasket there. Let's see how it runs without the exhaust on it. Sure seems to run pretty great without the exhaust hooked up. Got a nice new exhaust here. Let's put this on and see exactly how it runs then. New muffler installed. Let's see what it sounds like. I do hear a little bit of a whooshing on this engine. I'm going to do a leak down test on both cylinders to make sure that we didn't blow out one of those head gaskets when the pressure couldn't escape from the exhaust. When timing's off or there's back pressure like that, it can blow out a head gasket very, very quickly. We want to make sure that that's not the case here. It does sound like the RPMs are maybe just a hair low, but other than that, it runs just great. Everything seemed to work well. The belt seemed like maybe it needed some adjustment on it, or maybe it wasn't the right belt or whatever. It seemed a little bit loose, a little bit slow to start. But again, the engine issue that we worked on, everything was done good there. Hopefully this helps you out if you have the same or a similar issue, whether it's on this engine or any other engine. If everything checks out good and you're at a wit's end with what could be happening, it could be that your engine cannot breathe. That exhaust, whether it deteriorated from the inside and it's partially plugged up, or if it's because of that indentated spot, this thing is not able to breathe, and that's why it wasn't able to run well. As soon as we got that switched out, everything just works perfect. So thanks for watching, guys. Don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button if you enjoyed the content, and have a wonderful rest of your day.